All right.
Yay.
Welcome to Thirsty Thursday, everyone. We have two guests today, both new to Fear Street, so we're excited to have you guys on. Let's start with just some introductions before we get the ball rolling on other things that we're going to discuss later on. But first off, we have Ryan from Brother Ghoulish. Ryan, tell us your horror journey. How did you get to where you are with horror? And make sure you include what your favorite scary movie is.
Ooh, okay. So I'll start with that. Even though this answer changes every time I go on something. This week my favorite horror film goes back to Scream. I just love Scream. It gives me what I need. It's a comfort watch that I can always go back to. And for my horror journey, I've always been like a spooky kind of kid. Like I've always liked, the horror genre. I liked a lot of gothic poetry and stuff like growing up. And my folks, they watched a bunch of vampire flicks and stuff. It was probably doing something different for them than it was for me as a little boy. But I always carried that with me. And so now I'm just obsessed with horror. I just started, my podcast last year. So
Awesome. Jamie, same question.
So it's no secret if you guys follow me on Clubhouse that Scream is my favorite horror franchise as well. Although I do enjoy the OG Halloween, that's another top 10. And then how I started my horror journey with Goosebumps, like every other 90s child. Yeah. And then Sheray's heard me tell this story before. I have had severe insomnia as a child. And so I would stay up and watch Turner Classic Movies behind my parents' back. And so I saw the original House on Haunted Hill, all the original Twilight Zones, all that. So yeah, I was just oh my God, people get scared on purpose. And I like to get scared on purpose. I don't know what clicked with my 7-year-old brain, but yeah, and I've loved horror ever since.
Love it. All right, well, now we want to give you guys a moment to plug your projects and your social media so that people can follow you, and because you both do some amazing things. So Ryan, I noticed that Brother Ghoulish just started a new season, right?
Yeah, just yesterday.
Awesome. So tell them where they can find Brother Ghoulish and all that stuff.
So you can actually find on all your podcast platforms, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Brother Ghoulish's Tomb. I share horror short stories that I've written, and I try my best to include as many characters that look like me so that you can see that, there is that type of diversity represented in horror stories. And I love talking about horror films as well. I've switched it this season to horror media, though, because I do want to talk more about, horror TV shows. I want to talk more about horror books. And I love shouting out other writers who, also have horror short stories. I love spreading the love around, and that's what you'll get if you come to Brother Ghoulish's Tomb. And if you want to chat with me online, just anything at Brother Ghoulish, or go to any of Sheray's channels and see that I'm stalking her. You'll find me in all the comment sections.
And vice versa.
Oh, let's cheers to that. Boom.
Yes. All right, and Jamie, I know that you and Sharai get up to some shenanigans on Clubhouse, but what else you got going on? Or you can plug Clubhouse too.
And y'all behave.
We listen, no promises. No, yeah, so I met Sharai on Clubhouse and I've done a lot of table reads on there. My last one, I had the great honor of being Tatum in Scream. She's one of my favorite characters. So when Ryan asked me to play her, I was like, oh my God, yes, of course. So I am in pre-production for a film coming. The premiere is in October. It's actually the weekend before Halloween, and I'm super excited. But it's called Our First Priority. And I can't give too much away other than that I'm the lead character and that I am a gray area kind of character with powers. And
I love powers.
Yes, well, we love a gray area too. And so I'm super excited about that. And yeah, I'm just, I'm an actor in Atlanta. Auditions are picking back up really quickly. So I'm excited, you guys. I'm thrilled to be here tonight. Sharai was like, do you want to come drink on live with me? And I was like, absolutely. By the way, Ryan's going to be there. And I was like, I'm ready.
Right, like say less. Like let's do this.
Love it. Jamie, do you have any social media you would like to plug?
Sure. Yeah. So my Twitter is Glitter Burrito. So is my Clubhouse. It's been that 19-year-old me got Twitter. Not even 19. I think I was 18. Like Twitter had just become a thing. And I was like, oh my God, what do I want my name to be? Oh, I know. My favorite thing and my favorite food. And it's been that for years now. And I've just never changed it. And I'm my whole name on Instagram. It's Jamie Kirsten Howard. Kirsten is spelled like Kirsten Dunst. And that's how you'll find me on IMDb as well. And I'm so excited to be here, you guys.
Awesome. We're so excited to have yes. We love it. We love it. Everyone has their drinks.
Oh,
right?
yes.
We're ready.
Yes. This is the part of the show where we do a little bit of trivia, and it's always stuff with fail. So feel free to fail with me.
Oh, no. I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of things wrong.
Yeah. No, I don't know who made this game, but they were just like, here's this obscure thing you'll never heard of. And I'm like, you're right, I never did.
It's Trivial Pursuit, so you know the shit's hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie, but I don't know this answer. So the titular monster in Babadook is found in a pop-up book titled what?
A bad. Oh wait, how am I supposed to chime in?
Go for it. Just go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Oh, a bad book.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something about knocking, because it can't just be the Babadook. That's too easy. So that's not knocking. Or not letting something in.
I just looked at it, so I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know.
I do remember the knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something with knocks because as much as I talk about this movie on Clubhouse, you would think I would remember it more.
And I actually
We did
love
our
that movie,
episode
so
on
I feel like trash.
We
I
just
know.
covered it not even 2 months ago. And I'm
I
like,
know.
there was a book?
The little kid was like reading the bedtime story.
Right. Anyone watching can also comment if you have guesses or if you know the answer. Please let us help us out. You can just put that in the comments and we will post it.
People are probably yelling at us like, you idiots.
I'm gonna go with he's knocking. That is not correct, but I feel it's in the ballpark.
Is that the follow-up to like his house Shrey?
He's knocking on the left on Elm Street.
Y'all said y'all were gonna behave. Y'all made me promises.
I had never said any lies. I had never lied to you.
Activity.
Yeah. Y'all ready for the answer?
Yes.
It's Mr. Babadook.
Oh.
I was gonna say that. I was like, that can't be right. Like, there's.
I have issues because we don't know if Babadook goes by Mr. So, like, retcon.
He is a queer icon. So
Yes.
He is.
Yes. No,
True.
especially because at the end, the voice is very femme because it's the person. I don't want to ruin it. If you have not seen the Babadook, you need to go fix that right now.
so good.
Right now.
But the Babadook could be any gender.
In fact, if you haven't seen the Babadook, let me get him real quick. Let me solve no.
Let me gather Mr. Dook.
Ryan,
If that
Special
thing,
guest, Mr. Babadook.
right. I'm talking all that shit, but if that thing comes around that corner, I'm no. Mm-mm.
Oh, I would simply perish.
Yeah, same.
Same. I would just be like, I heard a duck and then I died. That's my story.
all right. So next question. This is a little bit easier, I think. In Final Destination 2, how does death pursue the characters? In the order they escaped it or reverse order they escaped it?
You know what? That feels like a trick question because I feel like the answer is no. It's not a trick question. I just confused myself.
Yeah.
Where am I right now? What's happening? No.
Did you start at the front of the plane? Am I making that up? It's been a minute. I think you started at the front of the plane.
The plane is 1. 2 is the truck with the
With the log.
yeah.
I think it's the reverse order that they escape, though. Like I think it's like
I think so
It
too.
is. Because the very last one is the grill, right?
Mm-hmm,
Or is that that's the very last one.
yeah.
Trent nodded, so I'm gonna say reverse as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because I know the plane And then like the log scene is why nobody in our generation will ever drive behind one of those on the hallway. The
Nope.
hallway.
I'm
Jesus
afraid of
Christ, you
trees.
guys, the highway.
I'm afraid of trees because of that.
I really do move lanes. So like if I like it's not a game. Like if I see anything even resembling it, like just having like a lot of stuff on the back of the truck, I get over. Nope.
Listen, here in Atlanta, we're like famous for shit falling on the highway. And last year, a Brinks truck opened and littered like $100 bills on the highway. And I was like, Lord, I see what you're doing for others. I was so mad that wasn't it, because we've also had cows and chickens like escape on the highway. And so they get the Georgia State Patrol, like the highway patrol, to wrangle these cows. It is the single funniest thing that's ever happened on the highway, you guys. Also because Chick-fil-A is headquartered here.
Ruin all their chicken. I'll drink to that.
All of it.
All right. What is the name of the villainous character Kathy Bates portrays in Misery from 1990?
I actually know this, and I actually do know this. I love that.
I
Oh,
love that movie.
Wilkes.
Annie?
Annie Wilkes.
I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dolores Claiborne because they reused her, and I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's the same universe.
It's Annie Wilkes. It
Yeah,
has to
that's
be.
right. That's right. I looked.
We're not doing so bad, y'all. Other
No.
than that
I
bubble
know.
Apparently, this is the team. This is the team.
We need to start doing horror trivia nights. All right.
would be cute.
Which of these actors was not in Carrie from 1976?
Oh,
John Travolta, Sissy Spacek, Amy Irving, or Julianne Moore?
it has to be
Julianne
John
Moore.
Travolta, you guys. Really?
Julianne Moore, because she was in the remake. If she was in both, that's crazy, because she played the mom in the remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
John Travolta was definitely in one of the 70s prom movies. And
But I
don't think it was the prom. I think it was Carrie.
Oh, okay. It's been
I
years
think-
since I've watched the original.
Is he the
I
boyfriend?
So if you feel strongly, don't feel like you have to go with what I'm saying.
No,
I could see John Travolta being the guy that takes her to prom. It's been so long since I've watched that movie,
It's been
but
a
I
long
could
time.
see that.
If there was a prom in the 70s, he was there, except for one of these movies, Carrie or The Prom. I don't
Wait.
know which one it is right now.
John Travolta wasn't it because he was in the car
Yes.
when old girl went and
Right.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check.
When she vogued to death.
if she
Now you don't fuck with Carrie.
Where is that movie? I want that movie.
it's not too
All
late.
those. We have to do all those.
Why has a RuPaul girl not done that as her like final reveal? Like had a bucket hat and then pulled it and then like it's blood.
Raja did. I'm happy you said that.
She did, but I was picturing it as like I don't know, a little bit more dramatic. I don't know.
True.
When
That
Sasha
part.
went with the rose petals, I was like,
Yeah.
you could have done blood, Sasha. You could have done blood.
Listen, Dragula just got renewed, so we'll get it.
And isn't it going to be on
Shudder.
Shudder.
Yeah.
If Shudder drops out this summer, y'all just need to know it's going to be a special episode every time it airs.
I will literally not have a social life. Like people are like, come to the pool, and I'm like, I'm sick.
I won't have edges because I'm just gonna like to have like Dragula do its thing and then come and follow up with like a review. Edge is gone.
Sir.
Right.
We have not covered the first season, so maybe that's something as a collective we can get into.
Correct.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So just to answer that question, it was Julianne Moore. And she did come back and play the mom in the remake.
Julianne Moore is an unsung hero. Like she delivers
her.
no matter what the situation.
Truly.
So underrated too.
100%. All right. So this next one could be a good one for Sheray's poll she's got going on Twitter about what we're going to watch for her birthday. In Alien from 1979, what character is revealed to be an android? Ripley, Dallas, Ash, or Kane?
Well, it's not Ripley.
Right. It's not Ripley.
It'd be a real short movie. Is it Ash?
Stop it.
It's been so long, I really don't
Wait,
know.
I think it's Kane.
It's one of the two.
I think it's Ash. Like I'm like 95% sure.
I'm not sure because like it's been too long. Like I haven't seen the aliens in so long.
I saw it in a drive-through like summer 2015, and I cannot tell you the last time I watched it between now and then.
I saw it as a kid, and then I saw it with someone who thought we were dating, but we weren't. So it was awkward. So there were other things going on, and so I was not paying enough attention because I was like, "Wait, you think this is a what?" So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that back in my system for different reasons. If that means the point.
Right. So are we going with Ash?
Yeah.
Let's go with Ash.
Okay.
It was Ash.
We're killing it. Y'all might have to come back just so we can win at trivia. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Well, you think I would remember more of this because it was like half my childhood, but like
yeah, same.
It all runs together.
It does, especially with these franchise films. Like until I rewatched all the Nightmare on I'm sorry.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't want to get a DM or nothing, you know.
I'm trying to.
How to tell y'all to behave, and then I don't know.
I took a sip of my wine. I didn't say anything.
I never say anything. I just minded my business.
Okay, let's do one more. I gotta pick which one I want to do.
Okay.
I'll give you guys a question of which movie you want it to be about. So we've got Rosemary's Baby,
Ooh.
The Exorcist, or Train to Busan.
I'm out, y'all.
Come on, you gotta like one more than the rest.
So
I like Train, but I'm not gonna get this question right unless it's something obvious. Like in Train to Busan, what was the mode of transportation? And I'll be like, train.
Nope, it's a bus. I'm just kidding.
I'd be so mad.
That's my big like horror sin. I've never seen Train to Busan all the way through. I watched it when I was not feeling well, like whenever Shudder first came out and had it, I guess. So like what, 3 years ago? And I just like didn't finish it because I was like, oh, this is gross.
Can we have a clubhouse room for Train to Busan so we can both see it when we're not
at the same time? Yes, that works.
Yeah, done.
What was the second option? I don't remember now. Rosemary's Baby, Train to Busan. What was the second?
The Exorcist.
Y'all want to do Exorcist? That's a safe one.
Yeah, and I just listened to like the behind the scenes. Okay, let's do that.
Religion children scare me, and so that was a no. I need to do it because we have a podcast, but like I don't want to.
So
it's not scary to me, but
it's
anyways.
not that scary to me either. It's just kind of a pretty movie. Anyway,
yeah.
In The Exorcist, what is the name of the veteran Catholic priest portrayed by Max von Sydow?
Are there multiple choices, Trent?
No.
New question.
I don't understand.
Can I buy a vowel?
Can we call a friend?
Right.
I'm just going to look out in the horror fan room to be like, what do y'all think his name was? What?
His initials are LM.
Leon Michael? Leroy
that sounds damn close to me.
Lonnie Richard Mitchell.
Let's do this, and then I'll just give you guys this answer, and then we'll do the one for Train to Busan because I think you'll actually get it right. The answer is Father Lancaster Marin.
I knew Lancaster. Yeah, I knew Lancaster, but I could not remember his last name to save my life.
Why does he have two last names for a name? That's my real question.
That's my problem.
Catholicism.
Wait, I'm not allowed to talk shit about this. My name's Ryan Kinney. That's two first names. So let me shut my ass up real quick. And then my middle. You said what?
Both of those are first names.
Right. Yeah. Wait, I said what did I say? I meant to say that. That's what I.
You said that.
2 first names is fine. 3 first names, you're a serial killer.
You know what my name was almost? And my mom ran interference. My father tried to name me Ramses, and she said no God.
Can you imagine your life after Game of Thrones? You have no friends.
Oh shit!
You have no friends.
Ramses. Ramses Xerxes the Third.
Ooh.
Oh,
Mm.
you're getting fancy
You would
over
be-
here.
Ryan, please don't hate me, but you would be a literal hotel.
Yeah, no, I would be.
You have to. I mean, it's
It's not too
given.
late.
It's like,
I can file those papers real quick.
All right, Dr. Umar.
My middle name is Wilfred too.
you got 3 first names, and you're just not telling me this.
Yes.
I gave you my number. I trusted you. What?
I disseminate this type of information slowly over time.
This is
I'm not an alibi for you. What?
Why y'all think I put Brother Ghoulish under here when everybody else put their names? Okay.
someone call Jed because this is the sequel to Host about to happen.
Right.
Oh no, I can't with Host.
It's too scary.
If I
It
see
literally
someone's
made
hair
me-
move, I'm out.
It made my eyes like water. Like I wasn't even crying, but I was so scared that like my eyes were watering. And my boyfriend's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm just like, "I'm not." I was like, "I'm not crying. It's fine."
Amanda and my niece Louise, the cat, and the cute clothes in my pictures.
Yes.
We're both here when we watched it because we were like, we're gonna watch a couple horror movies and we'll end with Host because it's about Zoom, so it's gonna be fine. And I was not fine. I slept with my light on. Louise would like comes in on my bed to be like, "Your light is on," and I'm like, "You're cat,
Correct.
okay? Take a cute little sweater and leave me alone. This is grown folks' business."
Right. Don't shame me.
Right? She was like,
After the first Paranormal Activity, I'd like just gotten my license. So I was like, gonna go to the movies and like see a scary movie with my friends. I literally drove home with that light in the back turned on, the one that your parents told you get pulled over if you left on. And I was like, I don't care if I get pulled over. Like I'm not, what if she's in the back seat? Like I'm not doing this.
Y'all help a friend. Is that true? If you have that light on that you get pulled over?
It's not.
Okay. All right.
Our parents were just really annoyed.
Because my parents told me the same thing, and it comes up casually like this sometimes over drinks, and you know how everybody cackles? Like I'll be like laughing with them and shit, like, but no, really, is it true? Because like I don't want to ask. Like, I'm
I don't blame
sorry.
it. All right, let's do this last question.
I
And
just
then
took a sip, right?
Okay, in Train to Busan, the protagonist, I'm going to mispronounce this, Siak-woo, is traveling with what family member?
Father?
I was gonna say dad or granddad, but
I haven't seen it, so.
Teddy has something to say.
I forgot we talked about who's gonna do this, so that wouldn't happen.
Hey, Teddy.
hey, it's Ed's.
My parents said, "Don't turn that one. We look like fritters."
Carnival. What? Oh my God, your parents have a lot of like poetic ways to talk to y'all.
Right?
Oh my God. Holy
All
shit.
right. So who is he traveling with?
Is it his dad or his granddad?
You ready?
Let me watch
Yeah.
it real quick.
Pause for like an hour and a half, real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna say you're right, but I think you're wrong on who you think the protagonist is, because the answer is his daughter. So if you're thinking the protagonist is the little girl, then
Yeah.
your dad would be correct. But
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
was
the
like,
name
it's the little girl.
of the father.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Y'all are so. I mean,
I said father without ever seeing the damn movie. It's got to be a parent. It's usually a man. Father.
Again, I made it about 18 minutes in, and I was in such like a feverish state that I was like, ugh, and then just like fell asleep.
I've been needing to do it, and there's a sequel now, and so I have to.
I know.
'Cause, yeah, I gotta do it.
And they're
Wait,
making a
when did
TV show.
oh,
And America's gonna mess it up as well because we have to mess up everything you find.
I know. It's fine.
when did the sequel come out?
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better because I haven't.
Yeah.
The day America calls Issa Lopez, I will leave this country. Leave her art alone. Leave her art alone. Don't you dare. Whoever calls her, I will fight you.
Truly. All right. Well, since we're talking about stuff we've watched, let's get down to some of the movies, top movies, bottom movies, whatever you want to talk about that you've seen this month. Jamie, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, so we watched Hellraiser last night. And again, I had not seen that all the way through. I had seen bits and well, I take that back. I had not seen it all the way through since high school. I had seen bits and pieces of it because you know how AMC will do like that lead up to Halloween. They'll do like movies. Like I just catch it on, AMC. Literally, I forgot how badass Christy is. And I was like, wait, this is literally one of my favorite final girls. And I just completely forgot about it. Bottom movies, I fell asleep watching the new season of Creepshow. It's fine, but like I was so tired last Friday and I was like, yay, new Creepshow. Because I'm a huge Stephen King stan. Huge. Like I've read every book, I've seen every movie, I've read all the short stories. Skeleton Key is like one of my favorite collections. We should get the Mist remake, please. But I was like, why is this not like gripping me like it's supposed to? And that's my personal, it's no shade to Shudder. It's just like, I was not feeling it. But I did watch the Mortuary Collection and liked it as well. So as far as like new stuff, the Mortuary Collection was great because I wanted to watch it before I voted on Chainsaw Awards.
Awesome. Yeah. All those sound great. Jamie, what have you been watching? Or Ryan, what have you been watching? I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I'm gonna refill my glass.
Cheers.
I'm trying to. Oh yes. So my worst was one of the ones we watched yesterday. Well, I don't know. Good Boy wasn't really. I don't know. It fumbled a bunch, but it wasn't. I guess the worst. Like there were moments I really liked, but it's probably the worst that I've seen recently for horror movies. The best.
I liked that I didn't include that in mine, and I watched it with you guys.
Oh, that was lit though. No, watching it with y'all made it like 10 times better. Like I would do that again for any like bad movie because like it adds something to it.
It was like an anti-ASPCA ad.
It kind of was though, but it had like this like this weird. Oh. Okay. Weird. You know what? Whatever. So the film, I can't say weird. Weird. This weird surreal. I can't. Thank you,
It looks like a
Sharai.
Lifetime movie. Yeah, it had that
I'm
like
about to
Lifetime
say
movie
Trent and
filter on it.
Shady ass is gonna sit here. Thank you, Sharai. No, but the best
sound it out, baby. Come on, you got it.
I was trying. I couldn't. That Hennessy caught up with me. No, but the first
sounded like when we have Children's Day in church and the old ladies are like, "Sing it, baby, you got it."
Sing it, baby. Well, I didn't go to church much, so like
You're doing fine, sweetheart.
You got it.
Oh, you're doing fine, sweetheart. The best movie, though, I think probably was The Invitation. When I watched it today, I really did like it. It was really, really good.
I still need to see it. I really want to see it.
So I watched it live on Clubhouse with everybody, and I had not seen it before we watched it, and I was shooketh at the ending. Like I was like, oh my God, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody watching or listening, but oh my gosh, it was genius. And it was one of those movies that like I had rented. Remember when you could go to like Redbox DVD?
Yes.
Like
I know. Miss it.
Me too. Well, and I had gotten it, and I just don't think we ever watched it that evening, like whatever guy I was seeing in college at the time. But instead, I think that weekend we also rented Let the Right One In, the English version. Yeah. Let me tell you guys.
I haven't seen that one.
It's the original is one of my favorites, and the English version is actually one of the only English language adaptations that I recommend to people because it's pretty much like shot for shot, word for word, like the Norwegian. And oh my God, it's amazing. But yes, The Invitation was so good. I completely forgot that was this week, Ryan. Oh my God, I would have had that on my list. But like, I don't know what day it is.
And by the way, I want to take a note of that. Let the Right One In. It's on Shudder though. I think I've seen it. It's on Shudder, right? Or no? I might be mixing it up with something else.
I'm gonna check right now because
it's gotta be on something.
Movie to watch tonight. Hold please.
Yeah, it's gotta be on something. Either the American or the
y'all stall while I search Shudder.
Well, if it is, Ryan, let's hop off of this when we're done and just watch it on Clubhouse together because it's so good. It's amazing.
I'm in.
Trent, obviously you're invited.
It's awkward.
Wait, what happened?
It's not on Shudder.
Oh.
We didn't hear any of this, y'all. We did not just be like, it's on Shudder, it's not on Shudder. That didn't happen. That never happened.
I think the Babadook
Rewind.
said it. He's over at the side, so.
Right?
Yeah, the Babadook.
Duck. Never happened.
It's Mr. Duck, but it's spelled MX. Duck.
That actually is pretty cool, though.
That I'll support.
Well, that's the gender neutral. Yeah, that's like the gender neutral, greeting. But yeah.
Because the Duke should have a conversation. Like until we asked Baba Duke or the Duke or however we're referring to them, these questions we should not assume.
I literally just pictured like Billy on the street meeting the Babadook, and it took me out. Mr. Duke for $1. Please explain your gender.
Wait, who is this? You said Billy?
Billy on the street. Have you never seen that, Ryan? It's Billy Eichner, and he like runs up on the street to people, and he's like, for one time he had Chris Evans with him, and he was like, for $1, Chris Evans, and the lady realized who she was talking to, and she was just like, and I was like, relatable.
I would have fell out right there. I would have been like, catch me, Chris.
My favorite memes of all time are Chris Jamal Evans, where they Photoshop him with like a bonnet and nails. And I'm like, why are y'all doing that to my man? But there's also an episode where John Oliver's with him, and he's like, literally, yeah, Teddy, Billy on the street is kind of scary. Yes, because he's yelling not the whole time, but the new Netflix special, they have like a obstacle course that they make when their people run through, and it's like getting Judy Greer to be a leading lady. It's so good. I'm sorry, you guys. I did not mean to hijack this. You've got to watch it. Yes, Billy on the Street is so funny.
Hi, Dr. I love Billy, but he definitely has that I had too much caffeine this morning volume and attitude. Yeah.
Is it caffeine or is it?
I don't know him. I just wanted to feel a part of something. I don't know these girls.
I mean,
that might be what we watch later then.
I'll never miss a shot. I'll never miss a chance to like do the shady sip though. Like it's just a move. It's such a ripple. It's a movie.
You have to. True. Like it's just polite. Like if you don't do the shady sip, then like were you even raised by parents?
Ramses approves. I mean, we're not doing this. I'm sorry.
Ryan, I can almost match you. My parents, before I was Jamie, so my dad's full name is James, and then he goes by his middle name and then his last name. But he's a junior, and so since I was a girl, called me Jamie. But my mom wanted to name me Nadine, and my grandmother pitched such a fit. She was like, absolutely the hell not. You are funny, but you're not mean. No, Ryan's not mean at all. He's just very shady sometimes, which we love.
Right.
Wait, did I make a heart? There's a heart somewhere in there.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah. My grandmother was like, we're not naming her Nadine. Try again. And then my middle name's Kirsten. And my grandmother fired back and was like, what are we going to call her? Curse the worst. And my mom was like actively in labor as this is happening.
Your mom sounds like a cool woman, like for real.
She was just like, cool it, Margaret. I'm pushing out a kid. Like,
right. Can we talk about this later? Like,
yeah, we'll go over it. It's fine.
My older cousin was almost named Latrine.
No.
My aunt, as we know, you don't get to be this well-adjusted if you come from a brilliant family of like NASA people. But like my aunt thought that name was cute and was keeping it a secret. And my mother got it out of her before the child was born, luckily. Because like she was like, no, what are you gonna name her? What are you gonna name her? Latrine. And my mom was like, don't you fucking dare name her. Don't you dare.
Latrine.
Well, that's the shit.
Her name was Latrine Williams.
Teddy's hyping it, knowing damn well he wouldn't name his child some latrine.
Oh my God, you guys. That's like someone said they better not see any like coronavirus, and they spelled it like KA''RON.
You know what's happening as we speak.
Someone was like, yeah, someone's gonna name their daughter like Moderna, but it's gonna be spelled like, you know, how they spell it, like MEIGHNEIGHDRNEA. Moderna.
Whoever does that to their child, they are committing a hate crime on that child.
100%.
The Pfizer kid. Can you imagine?
Jesus.
What's your name? Pfizer.
What?
Fazair.
Fazair.
There.
That might be kind of cute.
Right? He's like, I want to be an actor, but also he is silent.
Cortina Rodriguez. I'm just gonna say Carotena because we can save it a little bit. No, that sounds worse.
That's 100 times worse.
Like QT.
QT, yes, there we go.
Christ. Oh my God.
We're reading someone.
Quartina.
There's someone out there with that name.
Oh,
Quartina.
We love you, Quartina. We love you.
Yes.
She won't find this funny when she's old enough to find this video. She's like, I came here for a good time and I got dragged before I was even born.
Quartina, you are accepted, okay, by everyone here. All right.
Yes.
She's like, I'm just here to have a good time, and I'm feeling very attacked right now.
Right.
Feeling very attacked.
Oh, I caught that, Trent. Yes, I feel very attacked. I love Laganja though. Like she, you know.
I took a dance class with her last year, and
I'm sorry. Let me not fangirl
fun.
that hard. Let me calm down. I mean, yeah, cool.
She's so
Jamie,
sweet.
yeah.
No, I mean it was. I had no business being in there. There were actual queens, and then I was like the 5'2", like nothing white girl in the back, like ba ba da ba da 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 ba ba da ba. Like I was like.
Laganja can like really stick it though. Like
Yes.
her moves are like on 10.
And I
We
feel like
did
she's gotten even
Candyman.
better since the show.
I don't know. We did Candyman by Christina Aguilera, and we had these like cute little
Wow.
sailor hats, and I was just like, yeah, like Vogue pose, and all the guys in the class, all the queens in the class were just like, bah bah, like Christina, yes, and I was just like, yeah, I'm here. I did drill team in high school.
You can't mention Christina in front of Trent. Like this episode
my
is not
fave.
about Christina.
Oh,
can
we'll
go-
have to
I
talk
can
about
go
her.
after this.
Well, so I don't know if you can see my shirt, but it's
Yes.
Free
Yes.
Britney.
so.
Free her though, for real.
For real.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Her next hearing is like June 23rd, and the judge is going to let her speak. So
Good.
Yes. Part of the Uyghur side of Clubhouse is people who are like, well, maybe she shouldn't be able to be a person. And I'm like, she is a grown-ass woman. Let her go. Free her.
you already heard me give my spiel the other night when someone was like, well, she does seem a little off. And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
That's
This is
messed
a-
up.
39-year-old woman who has done an entire Vegas residency, and you're telling me she has dementia while she remembers a 20-year music catalog and all the choreography?
Yeah.
No.
But the thing is, I think it's so easy for people to be like that. Like to be like, oh well, maybe they need this and need that. But then if it were their family or them, then they would if they just step outside their shoes, they would realize like how ridiculous they sound. To be for real.
Infantile. I can't use the word. Fuck it. People treat women like infants.
Infantilize.
Thank you.
And no surprise, it was like a straight white guy who was like, I don't know, she still seems kind of off kilter. And I was like, have you
Met
ever
her?
watched her Instagram videos? Yes. Listen,
Yeah.
it makes me so sad, not to like derail the conversation, you guys. It makes me so sad though, because like there's a website or there's an Instagram that like breaks down all the stuff that she wears. And like the stuff from 15, 20 years ago, there's like a huge drop off from like designer stuff to like AliExpress and like Shine, because she doesn't have access to any of her funds. And I'm just like, can you imagine doing a Vegas residency? And like Britney and the Zone just opened in Vegas, and I want to go so bad. It's like a recreation of all of her like music video sets, and you can pose and take selfies and stuff. Can you imagine your father using your brand that you've built, that you have literally been performing since you were 8 years old, and you're literally not allowed to touch that money?
That's insane. She's just making money for him now.
Yeah, because you shaved your head 13 years ago. Like,
patriarchy is bullshit. Like, Hulu has a whole documentary because again,
Yes, Jamie.
I was a child when it was happening, and so I didn't clock all of it. And now that I'm older, I'm like, oh no, I would have definitely been on her side because
I just remember it being super like screwed up that people were like fixated on her virginity, and I was only like 9 years old when that was happening. But I was just like, why do you guys care so much? Like,
and no one ever asked Justin if he was a virgin.
They asked him if he slept with her though, and that little asshole made a moment out of it. Justin Timberlake, y'all don't understand.
Hell.
Oh, he's Justin. He's cute. He's a little baby. He's a little monster. You raised a monster, America. That's the tweet.
He reached out to her and like apologized, and they apparently had a Zoom call. But I was like, you know what, Brittany, if you don't want to forgive him, that's fine. And also like justice for Janet Jackson. Like, I don't really care how many like iOS press releases you type up and post to Instagram. You did her so dirty that she literally had a massive dip in her career because you touched her. Yeah. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, he owes her like $20 million.
And he can't come back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because he's Justin Timberlake. She's just the woman who had her boob exposed by Justin Timberlake.
You mean that Super Bowl performance where we sang the song from Trolls 2?
He is a troll, so that was fitting. I never watched the Super Bowl, so I don't know what he did.
Also, I started clapping like Brittany on X Factor sarcastically, and now I can't stop. It's like a tick. I'm like
I love it.
I was telling my students I'm so used to clapping on mute. So when I'm clapping on mute because it's Zoom, I'm just like, and I kept doing it when I wasn't on mute, and I was like, I'm sorry, that feels really sarcastic. You did a really good job. Let me put some volume in there.
Put some oomph into it.
Yeah,
because you're doing this like half-assed like golf clap.
Yeah, I'm like, you did really good. And they're like, did I? And I'm like, you did, I'm sorry. What?
Sorry.
All right. Well, let's get back on track a little bit here.
Sorry, y'all.
No, it was great. I loved it. Free Britney for sure. Sharai, what have you been watching this month?
I watched everything.
You did.
I did. This morning at 6:30 a.m. I watched The Devils because it's leaving Shudder tomorrow. So get your life right if you have Shudder. It is a gorgeous and wild ass movie. I need to watch it again, but I won't have time before it leaves Shudder. It is wild and it is a mood and the visuals are stunning. It was like if Florence and the Machine wanted to get like spooky. Like if she was like, you know what, Halloween's coming, bring in that crucifix. That's the energy that I want for all my horror movies.
Yes,
definitely watch that. I also was part of that Good Boy group yesterday. And the Hellraiser under GTS. Girl, that's scary. Which as a kid, all of the fetish went over my head because I was a kid. And so I didn't go, are these people wearing leather and shoving fingers into their mouths? But as an adult, I'm like, they are wearing leather and shoving fingers in their mouths. Let me put the rest of this on my list of things we should cover.
When we saw that first finger get shoved into her mouth, I was like, I watched this at 12.
Right.
What?
It makes all of the memes different because they're all like, we have such great heights to show. I'm like, yeah, you do, apparently. So, I am shook at. I don't even know anymore. I have to like watch the rest of the series ASAP. I also did a bunch of 80s slashers. The worst would definitely be Stepfather 3 because I did that trilogy, so I can do the remake probably tonight or tomorrow.
Awesome.
The third one was a drop because the first two, you're like, okay, I see you, 80s. And then like the third one, it's just like, we're doing stuff. The line readings, the violence. Also, how many women are willing to get married on Saturday that he finds? Like, what is this? We are grown as adults and he won't sleep with you until you're married on Saturday? And you're like, that's scams. That's right. That's how this happens. Like, is it though, Margaret? Is it?
No. She's like, yeah, I mean, like, but he doesn't want a prenup, so like, I guess.
Right. And the kids are always like, Mom, I tried to Google him or whatever the 80s equivalent is, and he has no history. He's all live. You're like, shh, shut up, go to your room. I don't want to hear this. And it's like, he's killing your friends and neighbors, and your child is telling you something's wrong. What are your other signs you need?
That's what I was like telling the room the other day. I was like, if this was filmed today, it could never happen. Like anything like post 2007, because they would be like, oh, I Googled him, or like, oh, I like Spokio'd him, or like who is, or whoever. Like, it's like Dear John, you guys.
Yeah.
Like that needs to be made. I know they made it into a TV show, but like they need to make it into an honest to God horror film, because that's what it is.
When my friends date someone who don't have social media, I automatically assume
red flag.
he's a serial killer. Because he had to have it at one point and it went away for a reason.
Or he has it, it's under a different name.
Yes.
Yeah.
One time I found the other name. He had a whole other life and a whole other life. And that's why if you can't Google him, you don't need to be messing with him. Because I was scary. Like, I found him under this name.
I mean, Sharai already knows, but I'm basically like the FBI. I'm the JBI. And like, I will find you. Like, if you are bullshitting around on one of my friends, especially, oh my God, you guys, remind me to tell you this like off podcast. I found somebody's boyfriend and then I found her Twitter and I was like, just so you know, your man is on Bumble.
Ooh.
Oops.
Yeah.
Men are trash.
No, 100%. Also, Stepfather 3 is just like such a shit show.
It was so off the rails.
Yeah, I've never seen any of them. I don't. Maybe I should check them out. I don't know.
The first one's on Shudder, the second one's on Prime, and the third one's on Tubi. I'm gonna know what the remake is tonight because that's what I'm gonna get into.
Yes.
So I've been watching. So number one, I watched that new Kristen Stewart film, Underwater. It was okay. I'm not a big Kristen Stewart fan, so let me just preface it with that.
Jamie.
The pacing of that movie just felt weird. I don't want to go too far into it, but it was okay. I finally watched. I know probably the last one to watch this movie, but The People Under the Stairs. I've never seen it. I loved it.
Trent, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, so fun. So
good
fun.
to know.
Right. And then after listening to Girl That Scares episode about the Mummy franchise, I was like, I want to go back and watch those movies now. So I did. They kind of hold up, especially the first two. I was like, okay.
I was gonna say the first two do.
Yeah.
I just want to go on record as saying Brendan Fraser could get it whenever he wants to give up his life.
Anytime,
I'm just waiting.
any day.
I'm just waiting. Yeah. Whenever he's like, I've had enough success and family, I'm like, I'm here. I've been waiting.
Right. I haven't looked him up in so long that because I haven't seen like the Mummy series in so long that I'm only remembering him through child eyes when I didn't know what I was looking at. But now I gotta go look and see what he looks like.
He's still hot. Like he could still he was trending on Twitter a couple months, weeks. I don't know what time it is. He was trending for being an awesome person. Who does that? Wow. Who does that in 2021 especially? You're trending because you did some shit. And it was like, Brendan Fraser saved my daughter. Brendan Fraser saved a kitten. Brendan Fraser is a man too. I'm like, oh my God, he's a good person too. That's even better.
I know. Right. So like the last vacation I took before the pandemic, I went to Universal Orlando in like the end of January 2020. And I forgot at the end of the Mummy ride that he like pops up in the video. And I literally went, oh, and the whole ride laughed. I was like, he's such a babe, you guys. Like, also that movie, that ride still scares me. Like, I was like, oh, I forgot there's like animatronics of like the skinless mummy. And I was like, oh, why is he like so close to my face?
Won't be in there. Nope.
Well, and I'll have to tell you guys the whole story off pod, but the Escape from Hogwarts ride froze with me stuck in the Forbidden Forest. So there was no sound, but the puppets of the Dementors were still moving. So I'm tilted back on my back and there's a Dementor puppet like this close to my face. And he's like, with no noise. And
He's
so I was
crumping? Like, what's
yes, to like break the tension. I was like, oh yes, Mary J. Blige, get it, auntie. Like I was like,
Oh no, I'm doing Lil' Kim. I remember she did this.
yes. Like I was like trying to break the tension because it was so scary because those puppets are horrifying. And I'm just like, please get me out of here. Like I don't want this. And they're like, oh, you guys can go again since it broke down. And I was like, I'm good.
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll be good for like 2 years, 10 years. Like, give me the time.
In fact,
I went and got a butterbeer. And I was like,
you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
And then I also watched that new X-Men movie, the New Mutants, which I was kind of excited about because I had heard. I love the X-Men. Number one, number two, I had heard that this was going to be like kind of a horror theme around it.
Sure.
From what I've read, the studio came back and said, "No, you're not doing that." And so it didn't go anywhere. It was just. I gave it a star on Letterboxd, and that tells you something. I'm usually a really easy reviewer.
That's really disappointing because, like you said, like in the trailers, it looked like it was going to have like a darker, like horror kind of vibe to it, and then it's X-Men. Like, how can you mess that up? I haven't seen it, but like, and it's like X-Men. Like, how could you mess that up?
It doesn't go far enough either way because the studio came in and tried to like dictate where they could go with it. Yeah,
the
especially
X-Men have not been right in so long, but I forgot what it feels like when they are right. I remember the cartoon, and it was a bop. And then they started making movies. It was every other movie might be watchable. And now
I am a noted, like, I just can't get into X-Men. It's not my vibe. And I've tried. I've been to every single movie in the theaters. Like, it's not for lack of, like, exploration. I've been like, yeah, like, this one might be good.
Watch the cartoon, though, because that's where it was.
I need that TikTok of her, like, applying clown makeup.
Yes.
No. So, yeah, that's what I've watched. So, you know. But, okay, another event happened that we need to discuss. The Chainsaw Awards.
Yes.
What are some thoughts about the Chainsaw Awards?
The Dark and the Wicked was robbed.
Yes. His house, I will keep fighting for his house because his house does not get enough traffic. People are like, oh, so it's not about Matt Smith? Never mind that. And I'm like, no, it's a good fucking movie. It reinvents the haunted house genre, and we do things, and we have like Black leads, and people are like, I can't watch that. And so nobody voted for it.
Suddenly I'm blind. I can't read.
It's like, no, it's like that Drake meme. It's like all the horror movies, yes. His house, no. And I'm like, why though? It's on Netflix. You all have Netflix. We all have someone's account.
And Sharai, this was my big beef with like award season this year. And I went on Robert's podcast to talk about the Oscars. This was the first year where literally everything nominated was on streaming. All of it. Mm-hmm. And so if you voted and didn't watch everything, that's on you. And like, what was it? Out of Space? Like, that was amazing. Like, yes, the special effects in that were amazing. But there were so many things that both His House and Dark and Wicked were nominated for that should have won that I was just like, come on. Like, did we all just go see Invisible Man right before lockdown, and so we have like emotional connection to it? And I enjoyed Invisible Man, but there were parts of it. Too. Well, there were parts of it, and Sharai has heard me talk about this, where I'm just like, wait, how did he get here? Like,
I mean, I've seen more egregious cases of that though. Like, how did Taraji get on the back of the boat?
Oh my God.
Let's not even bring her into this. That's a whole other Thursday. That's going to be Thursday, Friday. What are we doing tomorrow?
We're gonna have to have like an Acrimony Monday or something because that movie.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
Or just like a Tyler Perry movie Monday.
I don't think I have it in me to watch more than like in one sitting.
But I have thoughts on everything he's doing.
I'll watch just the scene in Diary of a Mad Black Woman when she throws his ass into the tub from the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who's gonna wash you now, Terrence? Like I just.
I was about to say something, but it's terrible, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave my thoughts about him and his stuff.
It's so bad, JB. Off pod, I will tell you.
It's so bad. Like
I'll slip into your DMs in a minute.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna tell y'all, just not here because it ain't cute. But I think with the Chainsaw Awards, I hope they keep doing them. There were definitely some choice moments, but overall, it's like a really cool idea, and it felt like it was too short. It felt like they needed more categories. Yeah, for me, it felt like it just kind of like stopped. Like, and I could have imagined like them going a little bit further.
Well, I mean, Sharai, please go ahead, but that's everyone's, like commentary.
Y'all don't need disclaimers. Read me if it needs to happen.
No. Everybody's argument is that like award shows are so long and this, that, and the other. And I loved that it was an hour. I was like, boom, bam, we know who won. Like there were cute little moments. The host was amazing. All right, let's wrap it up. It could have gone for like 15 more minutes, I feel like. Sorry, Sharai, continue.
Yeah, I agree. Like my issues are not with the award show. The award show was fun because we don't celebrate genre enough because it's always overlooked. Like how anytime Kavitching because people are overlooked because they did genre, even though it's an amazing performance. Toni Collette. So I was fine with the award show. What I was not fine with is that this is a group project because we all have to vote. And most of us didn't know when to vote because we're assholes in a pandemic. Or the wrong people voted because like Invisible Man swept everything, and I feel like some of those awards could have gone elsewhere. I'm not trying to start a fight with Blumhouse, obviously, but I feel like some of those awards could have gone to some of those other movies that deserved. But people were like, "It's the last thing I saw in theaters," and I voted.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Invisible Man swept like it did. I mean, I like Invisible Man. I think it's a good film. One thing I do want to say that I really enjoyed about the Chainsaw Awards that you don't get in like the Oscars or the whatever is that their performance awards were not separated by gender. It was a supporting award and a lead award. The only award I would add, and I texted to Sharai earlier, is like a best featured performance. It's like a really small character that was just super memorable.
That is cool.
Well, and that's you go first, Sharai.
I was gonna say that I love that, and Jamie Lee Curtis giving us that like award for acting from the shower because clearly her mother was in Psycho. For those of you who are not like raised correctly,
I kind of felt like maybe because we've been locked in so long, and like I don't watch award ceremonies, like I don't. So I don't watch Oscars. I don't watch the Grammys. Like historically, it's just never been my thing. So when I heard about like the Chainsaw Awards, like I was like, oh, this is for me. Like it's just horror. Like we're talking about horror. And I'm so happy that like there is so much dialogue around like what could, be in the future. Because I feel like the thing that's interesting about what's happening right now is that people are listening. So I hope in future iterations they can incorporate what some of the people are trying to like what more of the mass are trying to see. Because although I also like Invisible Man, I would be a fool to pretend like it's just like it in all, because that's just not the case. There were a lot of amazing moments in horror like this year, and it doesn't feel like. And I mean, I'm going to give Sharai her flowers on this because like we talked a little bit about this already, but like it's the idea that like it's a big budget film. So it's like there are all of these other projects that may not have that same budget that have stronger storylines, for example, or there's just things that are being overlooked. And that's the tea. And as someone who, I write short stories. So how would I feel if like I'm going against a machine? Like sometimes you just got, go ahead.
I do love that they added the category of nonfiction this year. And because that was when I was like, how do we campaign for some of my friends' podcasts and things that they're doing? Because like literally if Girl That's Scary is not nominated next season, I will flip a table. I will be talking to everybody who's ever looked at Fangoria to be like, do you know about my friend's podcast? One
thing I do want to mention about the nonfiction award is I wish, and I get that it was like voted on by the public or whatever.
Yeah.
But like considering that we are talking, or there's a lot of talk in the horror community about like diversifying and like not gatekeeping and stuff like that. I wish that the one film that really focused on queer issues in horror had actually gotten its dues. Because Scream Queen was a fantastic documentary. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yes.
Well, and like to y'all's point, like the thing about horror is that it's the one genre that honestly has the best representation of all swaths of the population, which I think is why we're all drawn to it, or one of the reasons. And it just kills me that like this should be a huge deal, like a BAF, you know, and a BAFD. And
I don't know what those letters mean. I'm sorry.
Big ass fucking deal.
Just DM me. You said what?
Big ass fucking deal.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And so it just cracks. Thank you, Sharai.
Yes.
It just like cracks me up that like we haven't, the fact that like Toni Collette didn't get nominated for Hereditary, or there's been a million films in the last 10 years where I'm just like, wow, like these actors should have been nominated. And so the Chainsaw Awards are kind of like our little insular thing, but it's on our shoulders to make sure that we vote for it and that people like us vote for it and not just people like the Academy. And it can feel like an uphill battle. And you know, again, I did a whole Oscars recap on a different podcast, and like he asked me if I felt like we should stop worrying about using the Oscars to pander to people who are not into film anyways. And if that really like shot me off in a million different directions, because I'm like, oh yeah, they don't make, like, I love sports. They don't pander at the ESPYs to people who don't watch sports.
Right.
So like, why are we pandering during all of our award shows to people who don't watch horror or film or television if it's, you know, the Emmys? Like, when people do Oscars recaps, I'm like, I didn't even see that film. I'm just like, okay, well, you could have. Like,
yeah. I don't know about you. So when you guys vote on things, especially when I'm getting up to like best film, best director, best all that stuff, I try to pick different things. Like I don't vote like one straight film the whole way through. I would vote like if I have put, so for example, if I did Invisible Man as director, I wouldn't have voted for that. I wouldn't have voted for Elizabeth Moss or as best movie.
Again, people didn't think about the other movies. They were like, I saw this in theaters as my last movie, so I swept it. And not all of those, because I mean, again, like I am not the biggest fan of the Invisible Man, but some of those were earned, and I can take that away from it. But not all of them were earned. There was people just being like, "That's the favorite that I last saw," because there were I have seen so many movies in 2020 that deserved recognition and were not even on the ballot. And again, that is part of us fighting this group project, because I did not know Fangoria was under new management. I didn't know the new management was doing better. And so I was not paying attention until it was too damn late. But now that I'm aware, I'm going to be like, hey, have you seen whatever next year's His House is? Hey, have you seen these nonfiction situations? Are you voting? Yeah. I will be seen here with my get out the vote for many reasons next year. Just so we're all clear. I'm going to be like, oh, you like my podcast? Or are you voting for Fangoria? Right. Because I will not have One-Me be embarrassed again when she gives a performance of a lifetime. Watch
Chainsaw
His House.
2022. Chainsaw 2022. We're looking at you. And if you need hosts, let us know.
That's my next question. Who do we think should host next year's Chainsaw Wars, which we don't get a say in, but it's just fun?
I think it's going to be Barbara Crampton.
It should.
Like I think it will be after Jacob's Wife. I mean, I have a short coming out in October, so like.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But
I know Josh Rubin tweeted that was one of his life goals now.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm okay with Josh. I'm team Josh also.
Yes. Either will get my vote. Either will. If they could co-host, that's ideal.
I'm sure they'll figure out something. But Barbara says had such a explosive start to this year with Jacob's Wife. But I mean, Kelly Maroney is going to be in some new stuff. I love that the OG Scream Queens are kind of making a comeback. Like they deserve. Like they got pigeonholed when they were my age. I can't imagine, and they've acted in stuff since then, but like I'm in my 20s. Like they got pigeonholed in their 20s, and then like they had to do like B-roll type stuff until now.
Yeah.
I feel like Barbara is the equivalent of Robert Englund, and that like
Yes.
bookends to our horror journeys, and we don't give her the respect she's due, which is why I love Jacob's Wife, watching an actress who says she's in her 60s but looks like she's in her 30s.
Easy.
Have fun. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to watch Jacob's Wife. I haven't watched it yet.
It's so
It's on
good.
Google Play. I'm gonna slip you that password after that.
All right. Well, our last question: when you guys our guest on the main thread of our show, A Nightmare on Fear Street, what would you like to cover? It can be multiple choices. It doesn't have to pick just one, or a genre, whatever you want.
Wow. So one of the ones I would like to cover with you guys already did, and I also want to do on my pod, but let me let Jamie go because I want to think hard about. I don't want to use one that you guys have already done, so I want to be really creative. So
that's the thing is like I love slashers, and like I know we've already talked about them, but like slashers are my favorite genre. I would have to talk about like the portrayal of PTSD and CPTSD in horror.
Nice.
Mental health and horror is a big deal to me. I'm working on a script on my own right now that kind of deals with like life after being the final girl. And we just don't talk about it. Like we don't talk about like, cool, she's around. Like poor Sidney Prescott has like 4 more movies of trauma. She probably hasn't processed any of that because she hasn't had time to.
Right. We'll see what happens next year.
Listen, I'm going to be front row. I'm so excited, you guys.
Same.
That and Halloween. I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
I will be in the boxes of whoever handles the screeners to be like, hello, we have a podcast and we need what do I have to do? Do you want someone's firstborn? I'm not having kids, but I'll find you a firstborn.
Exactly. Well,
give me the screener.
And I'm hoping that like Atlanta usually gets things like that Thursday night or that Wednesday night instead of waiting until Friday. And so I'm just gonna be like, all right, cool. So someone can cover my class that night so I can, at the gym, so I can just go watch this movie. Thanks.
That's good to know. And just so you're aware, I will be on your couch the Thursday night of both of those.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped.
Yeah. I'm going to show up with my tacky like roll on to be like, hi, Michael Myers is ready.
Hi.
You'll be like, how did you get my address? Did I? So don't worry about it, Jamie. Don't worry about it.
You thought you were the FBI.
I've already warned my boyfriend. I'm like, we're gonna have a visitor in the fall. It's fine.
She'll come every October that there's a Halloween movie, and we can't call her Michael Myers because it's weird. But like, kind of.
Oh my god.
Sitting there carving cheeses on your counter. It's like, when will she leave?
What's funny is that I love making charcuterie boards, and I always make a huge themed one for the Halloween party. And I'll have to send you the video. I do like a savory and then a sweet for our parties. And like we have multiple Halloween parties. Like we have the one the weekend of and like the one weekend before. And then the weekend after we do like a non-culturally appropriative Day of the Dead. Like a respectful kind of thing. But it's charcuterie is like I'm the goth Martha Stewart. I love having people over, and it makes me sad to like.
That sounded great.
I'm on my way. Like, you've already said enough. I'm gonna.
Right.
Yeah, like it's been really hard not to be able to have company for the past like 13 months because it's like my love language is like feeding you guys, and I can't do that right now. So I'm like,
we're on our way. Next Thursday from Jamie's kitchen.
I know what I want to cover with you guys.
Some shark coochie.
Shark coochie.
Have you never seen that meme, Ryan? No.
Ryan, we're gonna corrupt you when we end this.
I'm already corrupted, but
this girl tweeted and was like, "I love when people make shark coochie or however you say it," and then she was trying to say charcuterie.
Yeah, but wow, okay.
If you're not having charcuterie boards, what are you doing, Ryan?
What are you doing?
Right.
Some Sharknado coochie.
Santa Claus.
No, No.
That sounds painful.
I know.
It does.
You know
Sharknado
what?
coochie.
I mean, it's in theme. You can get a shark board. I feel we're gonna talk about this. I'm not saying there will be props for the next Thirsty Thursday. But
There has to be.
If there are, you need to bring me back, and I will wear that Elvira dress that we were collaborating on. In the
Yes.
I just said you didn't wear it. We talked about this.
We did, but then I sneezed and it all came apart. So, and I didn't want to be in a state of undress on this function. So,
Sewn in.
yeah, right. And then there were pasties underneath, little X's over, and it just. I didn't want to get
wardrobe malfunction.
That's
right.
For the
No.
OnlyFans, where we make more money than we make on this. Some of the
If y'all see Brother Ghoulish on OnlyFans, mind your business, okay?
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
business.
Subscribe, but then mind your No, but I know what I want to cover with you guys.
Right.
The invitation.
Right.
When Sharai finally watches it, I want to do
All
the
right,
invitation.
well, I'm ready. Okay.
It's got a film director, so it keeps circling, and then we end up doing a different theme, and so we have to let it go. But now that I've seen bits of it, because I was in that same clubhouse room, but I went to sleep because I'm old, and they started it too damn late, and so I was like, "Oh no, they're out!" Like, what did I miss?
Oh my God, I can't.
How to get outside? And I was like, "Don't tell me, I'll watch it."
I'd be so
It's
upset.
okay.
That's literally me though, because I fall asleep on a lot of horror too, and then I wake up right at the climax, and I'm like,
yeah.
My sleeping is so inconsistent that I don't know when I'm not going to be a person. So anytime after 8:00, it could happen, and I'm just waiting for it to happen. So I'm like, yeah, let's do these movies. And then sometimes I'm like, I've never slept. And sometimes I'm like, I passed out. Who killed who? And somebody tell me what happened.
Love it. All right. So we're over an hour now. So let's wrap up quickly. So Sharai, what are we getting into next month?
So this month we were doing 2020 because there are some things from the dumpster fire of last year we wanted to save. And there are some things we just agreed on saving, but we'll talk about them anyways. But next month, for the month of May,
ma'am,
we're asking the question, where my girls at? That is our
yes.
Let us know what you think might be in there. You may or may not be right. We've recorded most of it, so we can't change it on you.
True. And the first one is The Descent, which is out on Monday.
Yes.
Ooh,
so good.
Yes.
I'm going to leave the internet after we drop it because I feel like I'm going to make some enemies.
They're coming for you, Sharai. They're coming for you.
It's fine.
Leave them DMs open.
And your face. I'm like coming from you from this bunker I found.
Coming to you live from 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Right, exactly.
Yes. It's like, did you just WandaVision this? I had to. I had to learn, and I had to hide.
There it is.
Not. Stop it.
No, it's more like.
Oh.
She's like.
You've been practicing.
Again, I'm in.
Does not get enough respect
At all.
All right, and then also next month, it's not May yet.
Next weekend.
Next weekend. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that will be my birthday weekend.
Hey!
So we're 32 years old.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And then so we're doing 6 films over the weekend. The schedule is up on all of our social media, so follow us, and we'll be going live for those episodes at those times. So
Yes.
It's gonna be fierce. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be on the streets.
It's gonna be large.
Yeah.
not it's gonna be on the street.
Yeah, we're gonna take it to the streets, y'all. And for those of you who would like to have more say in what we're doing, my birthday is June 10th because I'm a Gemini, and you're welcome. And I have a poll on my Twitter and I'm instead of theater Twitter. That is not a thing. On our podcast Twitter. We don't have a theater. I've been drinking. On our podcast Twitter, And you can vote for which franchise we're gonna do for my birthday weekend because it's right now. It's between The Conjuring, Aliens, and Saw. Because
I already told you.
Wow.
yes,
I voted for The Conjuring.
That's my vote too.
you are both
Y'all
like.
trying to scare me now.
The Conjuring is the second choice right now. I'm just gonna tell y'all that right now, as of 8:16 Eastern Standard
I know.
Time.
I saw it, but they're wrong. You should do The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. People keep saying alien, because she's been on polls before, because we're not idiots. And then like they're like, but I didn't vote for her. I just said you should do her. And I'm like, well, you have to swipe right. You have to commit to this. And they're like,
What do you mean you didn't vote for her? But you chose her. How does that work?
Right.
Where can I vote? Because I have like 5 or 6 emails. We're gonna get the Conjuring ending that we want. So it is what it is.
That gif of Kermit where he's like over the typewriter and he's like
That's totally about to be me because I think Conjuring would be a great choice as well, to be for real.
it's one of my favorite.
First one for Halloween. So
Yes.
the next, all of them would be fun to live to finish it out live. But also,
Have you guys done Insidious yet in all those series?
Mm-mm.
That's another good option, yeah.
So, like our franchise T, we are 5 deep in Halloween. If you count 3, which you shouldn't.
No.
We
No one
finished
should.
Scream because it's Scream, and we're 4 into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
And
Okay.
after next month, we'll be 2 into something that I really, really love, and I hope I still love it, and I'm never going to revisit it, but I don't know.
Wait.
I can't tell you on the air. After we hit stop this, I can tell you.
Y'all know I'm going right to Clubhouse after this. I don't know why.
Same.
I'll see you there. Like I'm gonna take this bra off and pour it the drink, and I'll be like, "Where are we at? What are we watching?
What are we doing?
I'm at control
Right.
time. We can do what we want to do." What?
All
Oh,
right.
this will be good.
Well, this was fun, everyone. Thanks for watching at home. Thanks to Jamie and Ryan, our guests. Make sure you check out their stuff. And Brother Ghoulish started a new season just yesterday, so check that out. It's going to be awesome. And make sure you stay fierce out
Thank
there,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.